Doodle dandy silence isn't to be missed. So. Right. Unfortunate, but we'll just roll with it. So, did nobody notice a particular thing?
On the new plate. I don't like this part of Midgar. Back when they were still building Midgar, there was an accident and the plate fell. People had only just started moving in, so there weren't a lot living there at the time.
I don't know why I think he's doing it though, but it's kind of bloody annoying. Saying that, next time I get to a thing, I need to Aerith is waifu? So are you your team Eri then? Yeesh, okay. Pikachu's ran out of farm animals. He's extending his vocabulary. It's gone from bestiality just to you know, dabbling in the old Yankee Doodle Doo. I mean, that's not really that's just letting your inner feelings out, Wicked. You don't have to use that like to hide. It's fine. I appreciate you. And there's nothing wrong with your feelings, alright? I respect you as an individual. And you're perfectly fine if you have, you know, that kind of thoughts about me. It's only natural. You're only human. So the reason we restarted this is because my timer wasn't running the last one, but I didn't notice because, well, my thing keeps messing up when it doesn't start it. You should speedrun a game on a dance pad. There's a lot of people who do that kind of stuff. For one, I don't have a dance pad. I was watching somebody play Elden Ring with a punch bag, punch dummy. I've seen somebody use everything. I've seen somebody play Dark Souls 1 on a fishing rod.
Well, what did I tell ya?
Like, you can pretty much wire anything up to do what you want it to do.
Stop.
Mate, don't ask me the questions. I really have no idea. But it was on a fishing rod. They used the wheel on that to go backwards and forwards and all that kind of stuff. After that, no clue. Unless it was like a Wii game and they still use the motions and that stuff. But then again, even that, it's like, I don't know.
Get back.
They can fight too, you know.
You know what? I like this Pikachu. All right, I mean, he's very sexually frustrated, but yeah, he's amusing.
Hey, I bet you can grab that container with the arm. Not half bad. Do you like a cleanup raid or something? Yeah? Well then, I'm gonna head down. Okay, Cloud. Ready?
Yeah, I'm on the way. Yeah, Wiki, you streaming tonight, mate? Or are you now like just put off your food and stream because Pikachu wants to smack your ass like a pair of maracas? He wants you to be the build to his Ted's awesome adventure. He wants to be the Keanu to your Reeves and take you for a night in the Matrix. Yeah. Oh, I did it again. I'm blaming you, Pear.
Piece of cake.
And catch!
I mean, that's fair. You do you, boo. You do you, boo.
Whoa, not too fast, okay?
Got it.
At least let him consent first, though. Oh, coffee. Wicked, I think you should send a full game run tonight for E33. Nah, he's got to send me. He's just sorting that out. He's just unsure of how he's feeling right now.
Okay, guys, whatever you do, don't.
Anybody verifying this run? How you doing?
Shit! Let's get the hell out of here! Who are you guys?
She's asleep, mate.
I'm coming!
Random question, but why did you...
I purged a lot. I'm currently going through the process of sorting out all my redemptions because I had so much wasted there.
Did you have any...
There's a lot getting purged. I just didn't get a chance to do them all there because I was working.
Oh, okay.
I want to add some more.
How shocking!
Basically some more fun stuff. I don't just mean like me doing push-ups and shit like that. I just mean some more fun some actual more memes and shit. That kind of stuff.
Grab his dick and twist it!
That one will never leave. That one can't leave.
You twist that dick! Twist his dick!
Hang on.
Twist his dick!
Oh my god.
Oh, dick twist!
It's this way.
I just got my hydrate. Alright, I'll get my hydrate in a second. Alright, now we'll grab Aerith, Yeeta, go.
Cloud!
Don't worry. All the soundboard things and the command stuff are still there. It's just more of the redemptions things because there was just like a load there and some weren't even really used. So we're not going through a rebrand here. We're just tidying things up. Right.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, we're tidying things up a little bit. We're gonna bring the old Gordo back a little bit more. We're gonna have a bit more fun of these things, all right? I can still do a decent run and still chit chat and shit. So that's what it wants to be more like. Like I know we was talking to somebody who generally wants to ask like, some questions about Final Fantasy VII, which sparked off into a load of questions about Final Fantasy VII. Old Gordo, yeah. Look, I know, and I mean, it's probably working that's kind of took its toll a little bit, but like I know I'm a little bit less chatty than I used to be. Comparison. Not in a bad way. I'm probably probably fucking getting tired, mate. I'm getting old. I accept that, and I put in my fair share of hours. Let's put it that way.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, okay?
And I was trying to go through. Obviously, we was trying to go through that whole push of trying to like move to partner and that stuff and all that. And I was doing some of the things that I don't like to do, which is like emphasize a view count and shit. And for me, it's not about that. Yeah, okay, if people are there, all well and good and all that stuff. But if people are there in the chat thingy and that stuff, then it's not what it needs to be. I care more about having a stream that just has a bit more of a chat vibe to it whilst I'm doing stuff. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm going to take things out of your hands a bit more, so I'm not going to just keep throwing at polls anymore because basically that's how I've always been. And I felt like I was taking it too seriously into places like locking in and like sitting there for ages quiet. Like, don't get me wrong, if I'm like not thinking, sometimes I'll have off days. I'd say so. I treat most people like I'd say.
Here.
The thing is, the worst part to that,
Ready?
I don't need it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. It was to get the Any Percenters title and be able to provide that to everybody else. That's the only reason I pushed for it. It sounds silly, but yeah, that was the only reason I was trying to push for it. But like, I've just got to the point now. I was just like, can't care enough. Like, I'd rather do this, and if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. If we build slowly, great, fantastic. It's just have some fun, have some memes along the way. Like I'm the only thing I'm changing slightly from back of my old days, because obviously I run everything. That is what I'm known for. More so than anything is that I'm a variety streamer of all sorts.
You gave a ride?
No. Can't say I can't. What'd you say?
What's all the rest?
Well, that's the whole point. That's what we're trying to work on.
So, that's this girl.
Well, she's in.
Is that really?
Wait a minute.
That's her.
Oh, hate to break your heart.
What do you mean?
She's a real tornado hosting another.
An audition for what?
With that little next when I saw her and got girls and considering us.
Where can we find sound?
What are you asking? Do what you got.
That's fine. I don't really ask for them, so you Gucci.
Let's check it out.
Right, let's go to the mansion. But yeah, no, that's my project for 2026 to start with. I want to spend some time in this game. I want to run as many different categories as I can. I also want to see if like we can improve on them once I've done the run. Or I don't particularly. I think I want to just leave it as a one and done. Why? Who did when? I did when's house since what? What did I do?
Not so fast, buddy. We're looking for some more. Lindas.
Yeah. So
So you can just walk.
How even?
Maybe.
Leslie?
Excuse you?
Kind of cute, nothing cut.
Come on.
Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself?
Eric.
Seriously, Leslie?
Howard?
Nut.
Then who can give us that?
Trio. No one first. Just throw them in this ad now, or last but not least, they're an eccentric bunch.
Duly noted. Thanks for the info. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, enlighten me. Who, what, and how, supporting me, giving them tips, including events, and everyone's got the opportunity to these things. Like, the thing is, like, it isn't just me. It's the whole aspect of people behind that gives people encouragement. You know, like, obviously he's joined the CKs and that, you know, we've all got we try and collectively get people involved with things as much as possible, you know, all that kind of stuff, and people already have that confidence there. It's just some people are a bit wary about using it and a bit worried about how they come across. I mean, I'd say Excel's the main influence, because there's no disrespect meant here, because I know I stream different times. I don't see Steven in here very often, so I don't think it's me. I mean, maybe early on when he was going for affiliate, I'll take some, I guess, some credit when I was trying to help push him for that. He mentions you. Why me? Why I mentioned? What? Are you like trying to give me a reputation for being a nice guy? Motherfuckers. Hey, look, I just want everybody to kind of get what they want from things. I was saying to Excel and Sancho, it's like if I have one goal for 2020, they're going. Okay, they're going. We're on chapter 9. Oh, we're going this way. No, come up. They go in the bin. No, they're alright. They're alright. I'm not a nice person.
Think so.
Just wanted to see Andrea. Let me handle this.
If there's anything you don't do is nice.
Why would he do that?
Basically.
You don't have any talent.
Look, I pride myself on being the individual I am, alright? There is only one thing that is I put above the rest, is I'm the one person who will ask if you're all okay before anybody else does, because I pay attention. That's about it. You take from that as you will. I'm a dick, but I know when to calm it down, and I also know that I'm just walking down the alley with this guy who's puking. How you doing? I'm not supposed to be down here. I went the wrong way. Right. Well, can't beat me. Alright, I got myself all like twisted up here. That's what you get for being a nice person. You fuck up things. Alright, we went the long way. That's fine. Just correct it. Yeah, no, that's my only thing. I will make time for those who I feel are having a rough time and whatnot. Also, the aspect I'll check in on you, and I do know when to hold it back if you're a little bit sensitive.
How was it?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah.
But no, the runs are going alright. I'm okay with the progress so far.
Acting weird, Cloud.
I am.
Really weird.
So far as okay for you, or like a mildly pleasant.
Think you'll make a habit of
Yeah, basically. Look, I'm just a firm believer in, like, if you're mates with somebody, just expect banter. It's more fun. People who are nice to you all the time are actually just fake.
Oh?
No one's actually truly nice to you all the time.
And we'll take it from there.
You have to throw some insults out there. You have to have some jokes and all that kind of stuff. Too much nice is just bullshit. It's a facade. Because we all do stuff that annoys the fuck out of each other.
It's alright, yes.
Just pay
Sorry. We'll stop.
someone you care for.
How much?
What I said. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. A facade, a charade.
There's an underground house if you win it.
Ain't got me?
Fake news.
You're already letting fighters inside. You should hurry. Unlock.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Nothing good. I wouldn't expect a fair fight in this town.
Think we can win it all?
That's one thing I'm definitely sure of.
I appreciate the confidence, just
We went to the Colosseum. Why are we going back to there for? My error again. We just like come back to this alley, clearly. Alright, though this run is like bleh, scuffed as hell, but hey ho. What do you know? Thought you called me G then, Quirky. No worries, thank you for the good luck, Quirk. Come get some rest. Pikachu can get a shout out of Quirk before she goes off for the night. I was lurking at the stream. Had a good art stream. I'm just missing everything. I'm just ignoring every possible thing that I'm supposed to do correctly here. Giggity.
What's this? Team? No.
Yes, the two of us are team. I need to get that.
All right, team is. Head to the waiting area down below.
Down, down, down we go. So, how deep does this thing...
He's alright. He's just been flirting with Wicked a lot tonight. He's very sexy frustrated.
How many people are fighting?
The sheep must have been sheared.
Hey, you're not nervous, are you?
Nope.
Thank you for the shout out there, Big Q.
Just trying to focus. Like you should.
Go.
It's not your turn yet.
Maybe you can skip that by going here first.
Oh.
Oh, what happened here?
Just need a little spell. I won't scare you.
Maybe that little gobshite can piss me off to the point of fucking raising 6 words or less. I can bring that down from 6. Meh.
You two ready?
Maybe that's not piss off. Maybe that's just turn on.
Can you believe it? I don't think anyone saw this coming! What a completely unexpected turn of events! And the winners of our match are Cloud and Aaron!
Well, that's one win. Go team. What's wrong?
The rules make sense.
Yeah, true.
Always welcome, Quirky. Always welcome.
Expect the worst.
Well, that was some bullshit.
Go talk.
That's what they call nerd talk. Ready, rock? Just remember, trying to stop.
Not too shabby.
What the hell did I just see? It was 2 against, I don't remember how many exactly, but a lot. But somehow the winners of our match are... once again, Cloud and Aaron!
It's not your turn yet. Your name
Oh, bag.
Does this mean I don't got
Cloud and Aaron. The final match will begin shortly.
Man, it's the final got a lot of money right into. Win it for me.
Ladies!
You serious? One more shot!
Should have just kept slashing instead of the thunder. Or you should have just used thunder instead of Thundergar.
The deadly and dynamic duo, Cloud and Aaron!
My condolences.
Go on now. That prize money is going to pay.
Let's just check some.
Watching you guys fight, ready to kick ass? It's not even about the show what you got.
It's time for the ultimate scene.
Oh, the battle is joined!
Go on!
Let's go.
Gets a double cloud and Aerith with a stunning reversal! The Hell House is dead in the water! Now that is the price you pay for daring to get... Ladies and gentlemen, are you seeing this? The world's first flying house!
Go on! That's it!
What's this? The old switcheroo? As usual, the Hell House is up to no good!
No. We'll take that. We'll take it.
There you are. I'm looking for you too. So, ma'am, I was also hoping big event like Borneo got a pretty sporadic.
Now, the question is, do I have to go ahead and do the whole dance routine thing? Because I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a prerequisite or not. Alan, sir, how the devil are you? Are we on or are we off, sir? Are we on or are we off? I haven't seen you for a minute. I hope you're good.
You're here. There's nothing before we.
Off as of today. Nice, mate. Nice. Anything good planned for your time off, mate?
Pudding!
Thank you for the shout out there, Pikachu. This one's not an optional one, so we have to go ahead and do this part. Oh, I'm sorry to that, mate. Do it, mate. Do it. If you want to get back into it, go for it, mate. Absolutely, go for it. I tried to play Arena the other day and it wouldn't work. It just said nah. So I was just like that, screwed that one. I was like, okay, fine.
Cloud! Tifa! I take a deep breath. I heard Cornelius go. I just lied to you. Bro, I can call you bro, right? Nope. Just want to say, bro, that I'm totally relieved that you're looking out for Tifa. So, like, how'd you get so strong anyway, bro? It's your delicious materia pops. The way you fight, bro, is like poetry and violence. Bam, bam, whoosh, whoosh, you know? I really wish I could be just like you. My problem is that I tend to overthink it. Well, this is it for me. Call me crazy, but, yes, sir.
Still yet to beat this. I said I recommend it, mate. I do. Gordo seal of approval right there. The old Stamperoni.
You again. Got that letter of brutal. Yeah, it's fair.
You never played the OG though, did you?
You're sure you want to go, but if I were you, I wouldn't.
I'm off for 5, or maybe I'll try and do one split fiction run. Sounds like a plan, mate. Sounds like a plan.
Look at you all dolled up and fabulous. Where are you headed?
Split fiction is a cracking game, that's for sure.
Hey, I see the way you're looking at her.
I was looking to confirm what I already knew. There is no... Hey there, cutie. Where are you headed? Why don't you let me buy you a cup of coffee?
I give her a B for effort. That dress was completely overshadowing her.
So I do have to do the dance part. Okay. Alrighty then.
To see the honey... You said you didn't want to go alone. It'd be fun. It's pretty rare for Andre. Trust me, this is Come on, don't you...
Wait.
No can do. Oh, you're not that Andre, so I say we march right up to him, explain the situation.
Oh, Night Rain run, Alan. It's been there for nearly 2 months now. There hasn't been a run verified within like the last 4 months. Or something.
Good evening. Welcome.
We're here to see Andre. You must be Mr. Cloud. Mr. Cloud? I've been instructed to visit stage. The one in the back, sir.
Straight through those doors and down.
Yeah, but on a serious note, Alan. So you know I'm always here, mate. If you ever need to chit chat.
And here's the man of the hour, chosen by Andre honored guest. Come on,
I got you, boo. Just enjoy a dance show, folks. Why do I feel like that people just fail this instead of doing it? No worries at all, Pikachu. Do your thing. Take care of your health first, mate. Take it easy. You can't skip it, okay. Cloud is really committed. He's making a lot of eye contact during this entire thing. Damn. Boo. I mean, the songs I'm listening to right now do not match this vibe. We done? There.
Nice move! I love it!
That show today blew my mind.
Hey, look at me. I could dance too. How much did you drink tonight?
Over here.
can't help it.
I'll buy
It
you
was
a drink.
amazing.
We can talk. Was it planned from the start?
Probably not.
Let's go and follow you.
Wow, Cloud. Now that was a show.
Let them walk over there.
Please don't.
Not even one?
No.
You're so me.
Alright, get out of there. Go, go, go. Up to the mansion, and we should be done after a few, shortly. Why's my little lady's eyes open?
There you go again. Stop looking at other girls.
Whoa. That is one hot chick.
But yeah, just an FYI, folks. If you aren't having a bit of a downer in times, you know, always feel free to reach out to. Doesn't have to be me, all right? Any one of us in the any senses, but you know, my DM's always open. That's on a serious one as well. All right, no, you're not even taking the piss.
No way.
Here you are. Let us know.
You serious?
Is there a problem?
I hope you know it, Earth.
Oh, we'll be fine.
If you say so. Come on.
The two of you here for the audition? Second floor, at the very end of the wall. And don't go poking your nose in where it doesn't belong.
That Andrea's girl? I let her do things to me.
Room's at the end. Keep walking.
So what happens now?
I think they'll call for us when it's time.
This room gives me the creeps. Come on, you know you're into this.
Well,
Well,
Now, ladies, listen up. I'm sure you're still feeling a bit woozy, but tonight's audition's about to begin. Head out the door to the left and up the stairs. Come on, ladies, let's hustle.
All right, guys. Let's do this.
do you want to do this?
good old Jacqueline Hyde. This sudden outbursts.
Okay, let's go rescue Cloud.
Corneo's room, right?
Better hurry.
Man, I'd love to spend some quality time with girls like that.
Bet they're going at it right now.
Lucky bastard.
That's one way of putting it.
No more games! It's over! Yeah, get him! Watch yourself!
Really?
That's the way to do it.
Really? Alright.
Are we on?
Can I get an exclamation mark run in the chat, please?
The Turks are on
Yes, there will be no delays.
Please, Mr. President.
Oh, they